I'd like to welcome all those that are in attendance online today, and we'll now all stand. Please stand for the affirmation.
We recognise the traditional owners of the land. We are inspired by the early pioneers and by those who gave their lives for our country. We now ask God's blessing on our deliverance and on our commitment to build a better lifestyle and environment.
Thank you, Councillor Hyde. So this council meeting is being recorded and live streamed to Council's YouTube channel. The recording will also be made available on Council's website. Whilst all care has been taken to ensure that your privacy is maintained, please be aware that your presence may be recorded. So item 1, do we have any apologies and leave of absence? So there are no apologies and leave of absence. Item 2, are there any disclosures of a conflict of interest at this council meeting? No conflicts of interest. So going to item 3, consideration of reports of officers. 3.1, Annual Report 2024-25.
I move that Council 1 notes the completion of the Annual Report 2024-25, including the audited financial statements and performance statement. 2, receives and considers the Annual Report 24-25 at this Council meeting in accordance with Section 100 of the Local Government Act 2020, which requires the Mayor to present the report at a meeting open to the public. 3, authorises the Annual Report 24-25 to be made publicly available via Council's website and at Council offices. And 4, acknowledges the contribution of Council staff, the external audit provider and the Victorian Auditor-General's Office in preparation and audit of the Annual Report 24-25.
Thank you. Thank you, Councillor Probst. Do you have someone to second that, please?
I'm happy to second that, Mayor.
Thank you, Councillor Hyde. So, Councillor Probst, would you like to address the Council on the motion?
The Annual Report gives an overview of the activities, the finances and the service outcomes of the Council over the year. It goes through a bit of a timeline of preparation for it. So earlier this year, around April, June, the external auditor did their interim audit, which they then report to the Audit Committee on. In July, August, we do some adjustments to align with the accounting standards, and the managers provide their reports that go in the first half of the annual report. August, September, the external auditor does their final audit and again reports that to the Audit Committee, and we have face-to-face discussions with them to be able to ask any questions and clarify matters. Then it comes to Council approval, and then VAGA, so the Victorian Auditor-General's Office, signs off on it as well, which they've done. So now we're at the final stage of Council formally approving the report. So after that process has gone through, this is the final step in a long process over the year.
Thank you, Councillor Probst. Councillor Hyde, would you like to address the Council on the motion?
Well, the Victorian Auditor-General's Office has given the green light for this report, so that's why I'm happy to second it. And I think Councillor Probst sort of summed everything up there.
Okay, any other councillor like to speak for or against the motion? So I would just like to add that, that the annual report is a really good communication tool so we can tell our community what we have been up to over the past year. It is a very positive report, and we have a net cash movement for the year which is positive and which has improved on the prior year. It's a really long, lengthy report, and just want to say thank you to our staff who put it together and all the work that's gone into getting the annual report to the stage that it is. And yeah, very proud of our annual report, and I hope people will take the time to read the annual report. So I have nothing further to add to that. So Councillor Prose, would you like to sum up? Okay, so I'll put that to the motion. Those in favour? That's carried. Right, and that brings us to item 4. So closure of meeting pursuant to section 66(2)(a) of the Local Government Act 2020. So we will now move into closed council to discuss 2 items in closed council. So if you can have a recommendation, move into closed council. Yep.
I recommend that the meeting go into closed council to consider items under section 66 of the Local Government Act 2020 as they deal with confidential matters.
Happy to second.
Thank you, Councillor Hyde. Thank you, Councillor Emerson. A show of hands. Those in favour? Okay, that's carried. I will now get our Chief Executive Officer will report on the items discussed in closed council.
Thank you, Mayor. I'm pleased to report the 2 outcomes from our closed council meeting. 14.1, the council awards the contract for the public health software system to ReadyTech Gov Solutions Pty Limited for their submitted price. 14.2, council approves the invoice for the renewal of the Microsoft licensing with Crayon Australia Limited for 25/26. Thank you.
Okay, there be no further business. I will now declare the meeting closed at 12:40 p.m.